Hey, what's up, guys? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever it is you are in the world. So, guys, I am glad to be here. Sorry about last night, just had some things come up. Um, but we're here and we are going to discuss tonight's topic. So, tonight we're going to talk about are you an alpha, are you a pre alpha, or are you a beta? All right. So, guys, as always, as you're jumping on, give me a shout out. Let me know, excuse me, let me know where you're coming in from. Let me know, give me your name and where you're coming in from so I can give you a shout out. And then if you are watching this on a replay, make sure you drop hashtag replay down in the comments so I can come back in and give you a shout out, because I definitely appreciate everyone taking time to consume my content, listen to what I have to say, voice their opinions, provide feedback. If there's anything specific that you're having trouble with or you're looking for guidance on, guys, let me know. Shoot me a message. All right. And we will get that out. So if this is our first time meeting, make sure that you set your notifications on Facebook. And if you are watching on YouTube, make sure that you that you subscribe to the channel and hit the little bell so that way you get notified every time I go live. All right. So with that being said, guys, let's get right into tonight's content. And like I said, we're going to talk about, are you an alpha, are you a pre-alpha, or are you a beta? And guys, so I've told you before that I don't, guys, I suck at reading, right? So I don't read a lot of books. However, I just finished Magnetic Sponsoring, and the book was written by one of the network marketing space, gurus, grandfathers, Mike Dillard, and the man has an enormous amount of value and insight to being a successful network marketer. But what I really appreciate about his book is that the concepts and the things that he talks about can be applied in any facet. If you're a network marketer or affiliate marketer, if you are, if you have a brick and mortar business, and that's one of the things that I really appreciate about the attraction marketing community is, although it is geared toward being online and it's geared toward network marketers and affiliate marketers, like all of the concepts, principles, and things that you learn along the way can be applied to business in general. All right. So just keep that in mind. So guys, tonight's topic, I'm pulling straight out of Mike's book. I wish I could take credit for it, but he's way smarter and more experienced than I am when it comes to this kind of stuff. So we're going to talk about, all right. I appreciate you, Cashback Oasis, being here. So tonight we're going to talk about being an alpha. Now, guys, when I talk about what the book talks about and what I mean when I talk about being an alpha, guys, I'm not talking about, that pretentious a-hole that we don't want to deal with, that thinks they're better than everybody, that gloats and brags about all of their accomplishment and conquers and things like that, So what I mean by alpha, so we're talking about three different things, right? And I want you to think about them like this respectively. So your alphas are essentially leaders, right? Your pre-alphas are up-and-coming leaders, and your betas are followers, okay? And we're going to talk about each one a little, in detail a little bit. And what I want you to understand, guys, is that there is a place for everybody. Okay, so if you are a beta and that's just what you are, like there's nothing wrong with that, right? You guys know that I talk a lot about being self-aware, and if you are self-aware that you're a beta and that's what you're comfortable being, and that's where you fit in the grand scheme of things, guys, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I'm not trying to bash one or the other, but I would tell you that in business, guys, you want to strive to be an alpha. That doesn't necessarily mean that you have to gloat and brag about, your latest business acquisition or, how many customers, how much money you made. Like, you don't have to talk about those kind of things, right? You don't have to flaunt your success in front of people, but it's a mindset, right? Because regardless of what category that you fit in, they're not determined by your lifestyle or the money you make or the business that you own or your net value. That's not what determines what category you fit in. And what determines that is your mindset. It's how you feel about yourself. Nobody can take that away from you. And the reality of it is, guys, is you may think you're a beta, when actually the market and that identifies you as an alpha, as a leader, right? And same, vice versa. You may pump your chest up and think, oh, I'm an alpha, but when you look at it, you're really a beta. Okay, so let's just talk about each one in detail just a little bit. All right. So when talking about alphas, guys, they naturally attract people, right? And, now you can think that an alpha is typically, good looking and, this and that, whatever. But when it comes to business, guys, it really doesn't matter about your looks, what kind of shape you're in or whatever, because people are drawn to smart, business-minded people. And when you are an alpha in the business space, you radiate that confidence. People know that you're a problem solver. Okay. People know that they can depend on you to make educated decisions in generally and in the clutch, right? So it's the persona, right? So when I took a class quite a few years ago for the military, and one thing that they talked about was command presence, and I think I brought that up before in one of my videos. And your command presence is just the presence that you radiate when you walk into a room, right? And that's the same thing is I feel as being an alpha. That's the same way that I relate to them, those two together, is when you're an alpha, you walk into the room and people, they look to you for guidance, they look to you for leadership. And the good thing about an alpha is that they don't need the accolades, they don't need the pat on the backs. They're more, what's more important to a true alpha, to a leader, is training and growing the pre-alphas and the betas, right? The followers, taking care of them, training the pre-alphas, helping them move up to the next level. And that's what I want this video to be about, guys, is I just wanted to help you be self-aware about where it is that you are. And if you want to level up, well, then I want to give you some tips, just some ideas on how to do that. All right. And I see Cashback Oasis. He feels like he is an alpha here. Let's put this up on the screen, right? So the Cashback Oasis says he must be an alpha too, because he's devastatingly handsome. So I appreciate that. I'm glad you got the confidence, my friend. All right. So now, when we're talking about pre-alphas, guys, these are your up-and-coming leaders, okay? And how do we really determine that? So these are the people that are seeking, more responsibility in the workplace. They are your number threes and your number fours in your business that like your go-to guys, the people that you can depend on. And in your absence, they can step in and fill your shoes and make sure that the business still runs smooth. Now if you're an entrepreneur and you're running your business on your own, you don't typically have a 2 or a 3 or a 4, right? But when you think about pre-alphas in general, they are pushing the limits of their comfort zone, right? There's one thing that I want everybody to understand, guys, is growth doesn't come from your comfort zone. That's a safe place that you go to when you need a break. But when you're trying to grow your business and you're trying to grow as a person, when you're trying to level up, you got to get out of your comfort zone. You got to push outside of those things that you're comfortable doing. And, like doing a Facebook Live. You may not be comfortable getting in front of a camera. You may not be comfortable talking in front of large groups of people. You may be, questioning, like, do I have the right content, or, why are people going to listen to me? So those are, some things. And your pre-alphas, like, they're trying to get there. They're doing the things, routinely, that are going to push their limits and push them up to that next level. They have, that inherent sense of want and responsibility that's going to force them out of their comfort zone, and they're going to be okay with it. Initially, they may give a little pushback, but once they settle in, they're going to realize that, that place is good for them, right? So, and there was one tip here. I just want to make sure that I get that Mike talked about, pushing them out of their comfort zones. Okay, we'll come back to that just when we talk about the difference. All right, so now when we talk about betas, right? Essentially, like I said, guys, these are your followers. And I just want to reiterate, guys. So wherever you fall, whatever category that you're in, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with where you fit into these categories. But what I want you to understand is I want you to be self-aware. And if you want to level up, if you want to move from a beta to an alpha, then I want you to realize that there's going to be work involved with that, right? And I want you to understand that if you're a pre-alpha, trying to go to a beta, you typically don't regress, right, or digress, right? It's mostly an evolution forward. As you get more comfortable, you build your confidence and things like that. So then that leads me into a beta. So typically betas are, shy introverts. They are a little uncertain about themselves. They may have the knowledge and be smart about the business and understand how things work, but they don't necessarily want to be out front. Jacqueline is definitely a beta. She is 100% terrified of, being, having the spotlight on her. I mean, I thought I proposed to her, just the two of us, because I was scared of what might happen if I put her on the spot in front of people like that. Right. So, and that's okay, because she knows that's where, that's where she is, and she's completely comfortable with that. Right. So, the betas, like I said, they're a lot of times they're introverts. They're they're uncertain about themselves. They are comfortable being the 7, 8 in the business. That doesn't mean that they can't handle the responsibility, but they don't want to be in the limelight and have all eyes on me. For that, for that respect. So one of the big differences from the difference between betas and alphas, and I just want to make sure that I catch this right out of the book, is the primary difference between pre-alphas and betas is that pre-alphas have the vision, courage, and willingness to lead themselves through adversity and challenge to grow. All right. So let me just say that one more time. So the difference between pre-alphas and betas is that pre-alphas have the vision, courage, willingness to lead themselves through adversity and challenge in order to grow. So that is, that's the big difference. And where betas kind of fall in as the followers is that you are like, they're not really, it's not that they don't understand and they're not willing to do the work and they don't have the vision. They just don't have the willingness to push themselves through the challenge and test those comfort zones, right? So under toes, yeah, I definitely do. My little man is back there, raising all kinds of cane. It's about that time for his last bottle of time to lay him down, so he gets a little vocal when it's that time, right? So I appreciate that. But yeah, so it's and guys, again, I just wanted to kind of identify these things and give you a way to look at them from a different perspective, because, just traditionally, stereotypically, when we think about alphas, we're just like, oh God, whatever, the gym buff that, is on steroid, whatever. Right. And then when we think of betas, followers, we think of them as, maybe weak individuals. And I want to help change that perception. And I want everybody to understand that if you are a beta and you want to become an alpha, that's absolutely possible. You just have to be willing to do the work, push yourself, get out of your comfort zone, and work on those traits that are going to take you to the next level. So, guys, if you have not read it yet, again, I don't want this to be a promo for Mike's book, but it's the second book that I've ever read cover to cover. And if there's only like 200 pages or something to it, it's not a lot. For some people, you may be able to read that, in an afternoon. It took me 3 days, but once I got started with it, guys, I couldn't put it down. So there's, different places that you can find, and this is the revised version. So guys, when it comes to like attraction marketing, this is the book that started it all. Years ago, like 2005, I think, is when he wrote the original magnetic sponsoring. Hold on, I'm just trying to see if I can give you the accurate time frame here. So it looks like, okay, so it looks like 2007. So 2007 is when the original came out. So, 12 years ago. So they've added to it and revised it. It's just a lot of good information that you can put to, apply to your business, especially if you're trying to grow online. If you're using the attraction marketing concept to grow your business, providing value, giving you real world scenarios. And then it also kind of gives you, it shows you case studies, how people have become extremely successful. So, Mike Diller, for example, went from waiting tables to, making $50 million, so, but what I found is it helps you put things into perspective. And then it also gives you permission to take time and go through the process, trust the process. And, just let yourself grow as you're learning and as you're building. Right. So, all right, guys. That is it for tonight. I appreciate everyone being here. Cashback Oasis, XX Undertows, XX. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate your feedback and your interaction. Guys, if you found value in this, drop down in the comments. Let me know. Drop me a hashtag value. Guys, if you want to set things up, if there's more, if this kind of intrigued your mind, if you want to work with me, if you want to set up a consultation, go to the description on Facebook or YouTube. Click on the link in the description, schedule a consultation. We'll set up an appointment. We'll go, over where you are in your business, see what I can do to help you. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. I'm still here to help entrepreneurs on every level. If it's brick and mortar, if you have a boutique, if you're trying to grow online, whatever it is, guys, that I can do to help you move forward in life and in your business, I'm here to help. So thank you again so much for being here. I'll be back this weekend. We'll go over some good stuff. And until then, guys, take care, be safe, live life, and remember, we create our own freedom. Bye for now.